praises to the Most High Yah, and all honor to Yahushua Mashiach. Shalom, family. This is your Ak Fred again with another lesson. So the lesson this morning is release the chain from your brain. Before we get into it, I just want to say something. There's always been scoffers among us, right? People who reject what you're saying before they even hear what you're saying, because they already have a preconceived idea in their mind, right? But I want you to remember something. This is just a discussion that we are having, right? And I implore you to listen to the entire video and to make notes so that you can be a Berean, right? Remember the Bereans? When the Apostle Paul went to speak with these people, what they did, they listened intently, but they didn't just accept what he was saying. The Bible says they searched the scriptures daily to see if these things were so. So this is what we have to do in this time, right? We have to start fact-checking everything, right? We have to start fact-checking everything, right? Yahusha told his disciples when they asked him, when will the end come? And when will his coming be? The first thing he said to them is, do not be deceived, right? We got to remember that many false prophets have gone out, right? And they're teaching all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? So we have to be aware, okay? And we are a people who are at a very big disadvantage because of our history, okay? Our ancestors were brought to these places as slaves, okay? We were not allowed to think for ourselves, right? You got to remember that wherever we were taken from, we had a culture before then, right? We have a culture before we arrived here in these lands, whether it be America or in the Caribbean, Brazil, South America, the four corners of the earth, right? Because we were taken as slaves to the four corners of the earth, right? Where people were scattered, okay? And we were in bondage, right? In chains and shackles, okay? You weren't allowed to have any thought for yourself. You have to just be doing whatever people say, you see? So one of the things is you got to take a closer look at those people who brought us to these lands as slaves. What was their agenda, right? What was their philosophy? What was their thought process, okay? One of the things that they did was to make sure that we became Christians, okay? They started it even from we were in Africa, right? They taught us to forget ourselves, to forget our names, okay? And they gave us names, Christian names, when we come here, right? Funny thing is, I remember, people ask you, what is your Christian name? And never really take any thought to what that actually means. So what is your Christian name? Very interesting. So that goes to show that you had a name before that, right? So we want to talk about releasing the chain from your brain, okay? Because we think that we're free, but you'll be surprised that freedom is an illusion, right? It's a deception. The appearance is of freedom is not freedom, because there's a lot that goes into freedom than just what we see or what we know and what we are experiencing at this time. Okay? So what you'll find is that the chains and the shackles has gone off of your neck and off your feet, right? But the chain is still on your brain. Thus Bob Marley had a song, redemption song. He says, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery, right? So a lot of those freedom fighters, the freedom leaders, those people were thinking on a certain level. And that is why they're not here with us anymore. Because when you start to think and asking certain questions and influencing people to think, right? And to be going in a different direction away from what the establishment has put in place, then you're a threat, you're a danger to them. You're dangerous. You see? Anybody else can be a philosopher to think, but you can't. You can't think and say certain things. So in this country, they talk about freedom of speech. Start saying certain things and then you will find out how free you are. So what I'm saying to you, right now, if I start saying certain things too clearly, this video will be striked and flagged for removal, right? A violation of the terms and conditions of the agreement. So you still got to be careful what you say. So where is the freedom of speech, right? Freedom of assembly. Let too many of our people gather together in public just to talk. You just there having a conversation and see how quick the cops come and remove you. Tell you have to move on, right? When emancipation happened in this country, they instituted the 13th Amendment. Study what that is and see. The 13th Amendment. Okay? So let's get into some scriptures and start to examine some things, right? Because at the end of the day, this is the objective, that we become what we were meant to be, right? And that is to be like Mashiach, okay? Because in him is where we find redemption or freedom. That's what I'm saying? But we gotta fully understand what that is. You see? So let's look at this chain on your brain, okay? And see if we can start to release it. Okay? So I'm gonna read something from the Apostle Paul. And this is a letter from the Apostle Paul to the Romans, or to the assembly in Rome, right? So this is Romans 12, and I'm going to read verse 1 and 2. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yah, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yah, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yah. Okay? So now you have to ask yourself, what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yah? What was in his thought process? What is he looking for from us as individuals and as a nation? Right? What is he asking us to do? What is his will for his people? Right? This is what you got to find out. What is the perfect will of Yah? Okay? So, we're not going to really get into that too deep, or else this video is going to be like 3 hours long. So, what we're going to look at is, we're going to look into the book of Revelations. We're going to examine something, okay? A tactic, a ploy that the enemy has been using for a long time against our people to keep us in this state of mind and to keep us in this physical state of being, right? All right. So we're going to go to Revelation 2, and we're going to look at verses 13 to 15. Revelation 2, verses 13 to 15. And see what is this. This is this ploy, right? And we're gonna uncover it today. Okay. So this is he writing to the assembly of Pergamos, right? And he says, so this is Yahusha. This is a revelation of Yahusha. He is inspecting the assemblies, right? To find out if the assembly is acceptable before Yah, right? So this is what he's saying. Write to the assembly and tell them this. I know your works, and I know where you dwell, even where Satan's seat is. And you hold fast my name, and have not denied my belief, even in those days where Antipas, my believing martyr, who was slain among you, where Satan dwells. But I have a few things against you, because you have there among you in the assembly, them that hold the doctrine of Balaam. Very interesting character, this Balaam. And we're going to get into him in a second. So this is what Balaam did. So you have them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things that sacrifice to idols, and to commit fornication. Okay? There's also something else. 15. So have you also them that hold the doctrine of the Nicolaitans, which thing I hate. So what is this doctrine of this Nicolaitan that the Mashiach hates so much? What is this? Right? So the word doctrine means to teach, right? Is an idea. Is a philosophy, okay, that somebody has, and he's holding. There are people that holds fast this idea and is teaching it among the assembly, right? So when you get into the doctrine of the Nicolaitans, right, you're going to find that it is similar to the doctrine of Balaam with a few subtle differences. So one of the teaching, when you do all find, right, what you got to figure out, first of all, is who are these Nicolaitans? What is this? So you break down the word, right? The Nicola is the leaders, right, of the people. Nikos, right, is a compound word. Nikos, latos, right? So the laity is the people. The Nikos is the leaders, those who are in charge, right? Those who are in power. And what you'll find that the people in power, right, is Rome. Many people do not know that in the time when Mashiach walked the earth, right, Israel wasn't a free nation, right? They were under Roman rule and occupation, okay? So that is the reason why it created such a big problem too for some people. Because when the Mashiach came, they expected a revolution, right? They expected an overthrow of the Roman authority, right? And that the kingdom of Israel is going to be set up or restored at that time, right? Which when you read, I think it's Acts. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, but some either Acts 4 or Acts 1 or 2, right? They ask him, is the kingdom is the kingdom of Israel gonna be set up at this time? Are you gonna restore Israel at this time? And he tell him it's not for you to know the time or the season. That means no, not at this time. You see what I'm saying to you? So in so many words, you tell them not yet. It's not time yet because something has to happen first, right? You know, people have to be taught a lesson first. There's a lesson. There is a weeding out, there is an oppression that has to happen to these people first. You see what I'm saying? So out of that oppression, right, it's gonna spring forth a righteous branch. You see what I'm saying to you? A people who are gonna come forth and bring forth the type of praise that the Most High is looking for. And it's gonna be born out of oppression. Most of the precious stones, right? Whether that be diamond, onyx, gold, silver, all those things, the precious things, are born, are created, are formed out of oppression, right? Diamond, you know how diamonds are formed? There's a lot of pressure, right? That you have to go, that it has to go through, right? In order to have that compression to bring forth this precious thing. Okay? So this was always the Most High's plan, right? To create this precious thing that is gonna come forth at a particular time. So when they asked him, he said, no, not at this time, right? It's not for you to know the time or the seasons, right? So we're gonna get into this teaching of the Nicolaitans and the doctrine of Balaam. Okay, So let's go to Numbers 22. Numbers 22. And see what happens here. Okay. Numbers 22. And we're not going to try to read the whole thing because we'll be here all day reading these scriptures. And I don't want this video to be too long. So we're going to read 1 and 2. I mean, verse 1 to 3 right here. And the children of Yasharel set forth and pitched in the plains of Moab, on the sides of the Jordan by Jericho. And Balak, the son of Zippor, saw all that Yasharel or Israel had done to the Amorites. And Moab was sore afraid of the people, because they were many. Right? And Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel. Okay? So he saw the multitude of the Israelites coming and encamping around his territory. And that put the living fear of him, fear in him. Okay? So what you'll find in these times is that the world were afraid of Israel because of their Elohim, because of their, you know, their God, if you want to put it that way. Okay? So they're afraid of Israel because Israel is protected. You see what I'm saying to you? Nobody can stand in their way. Right? So they know what Israel did to the Amorites. Okay? Totally destroyed them. They didn't leave not even one person alive. Right? So they knew, and he's worried that the same thing is about to happen to him. But that wasn't the situation, but he was still afraid. And that is the reason why, even in this time, you're always perceived as a threat. That is the reason why you can be shot in the streets, right? Even in your home, right? And the cops get away with it. Because in the books, it states that you are already a perceived threat. You see what I'm saying to you? You're already a perceived threat. So even before the cops get there, you're threatening. Whether you're doing anything or not. You don't have to be holding any guns or anything. So please be mindful of these things. Okay? Because you can be hurt just because you're perceived to be a threat. Okay? All right. So let's look at what Balak. So Balak is the king of the Moabites. Okay? And he's afraid because he see Israel encamping next to him, next to his territory. So we're gonna jump down to verses 5 and read 5 to 7. So this is what he did. He sent messenger therefore unto Balaam, the son of Beor, of Pithor, which is by the river of the land of the children of his people, to call him, saying, Behold, there is a people come out of Egypt. Behold, they cover the face of the earth, and they abide over against me. Come now, therefore, I pray you, curse me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Perchance I shall prevail, that we shall smite them, and that I may drive them out of the land. For I know that he whom you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse is cursed. Right? And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the rewards of divination in their hand. And they came unto Balaam and spoke unto him the words of Balak. Okay? So he realized that the only way he can defeat Israel is if they are cursed. So he sent to call Balaam, to curse them, right? Because he knows that if they are not cursed, he can't defeat them, right? So he says, perchance, right? If you curse them, then we might have a chance to defeat them and drive them out from the land. Okay? So let's go down to verse 9. And Elohim came to Balaam and said, what men are these with you? And Balaam said unto Elohim, Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent unto me, saying, behold, there is a people come out of Egypt, which covers the face of the earth. Come now, curse me them. Perchance I shall be able to overcome them and drive them out. Right? And Elohim said to Balaam, you shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed. Okay? So what you'll find is that they are in covenant. They're not breaking any of the laws, the statutes and commandments, right? They are in full covenant with the Most High. So you can't do anything while that is happening. You see what I'm saying? You can't do anything to Israel while that is happening, while they are in obedient to the law. Right? So when you look at the teaching now of the Nicolaitans, the teaching of the Nicolaitans is that the law is done away with. Right? So what they teach you is to not to obey the law. Right? So you have our people running around doing all kinds of stuff that the Torah says not to do. That's what I'm saying? Twisting words and saying all kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? Eating meat sacrificed to idols, pork, doing all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? We don't even study what the laws actually says. You know what I mean? Even though Paul says the law is good and perfect. You know what I'm saying to you? So they cherry pick certain scriptures and say, even Paul himself saying that the law, the law is. But which part of the law? What is he talking about? You know what I'm saying to you? Stop listening to what people say and study the book for yourself, so you can see what is he talking about. Get an understanding. You know what I'm saying to you? Read the fullness. Because the Messiah said he comes in the volume of the book, right? The whole book is about him. The whole book is about him. So he comes in the volume of the book. So what are we talking about then? Okay? So let's look at this thing now, right? I'm going to read 12 again. And Elohim said to Balaam, you shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed. So we're going to examine what is this blessing and what are the terms and conditions that comes with these blessings, right? So for that, we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28, and we're going to read from 1 to 14. Maybe we don't have to read out the whole of that, but I want you to see something here. And please make notes and look at these scriptures for yourself. Okay? Don't just take my word for it or listen to just to what I'm reading. Right? Deuteronomy 28, verse 1 to 14. and these contain the blessings. So this is after the law was given, right, at Sinai. So this is what it is. So listen now, Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, if you shall hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahuwah, your Elohim. Look up these words, hearken and diligently, because they're words that you gotta realize that they mean much more than maybe what you think. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hearken diligently. That means you have to be doing something, right? You have to be doing it with a lot of effort. You see? So if you shall hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, to guard and to do all his commandments, which I command you this day, that Yahuwah your Elohim will set you upon high above all nations of the earth. Okay, think about that. He shall set you upon high above all nations of the earth. So one of the things is I want to point out is a lot of times you'll ask people, oh, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. No, you're not. No, you're not. You might have a few little things going for you, but you're not blessed. Okay? You're not blessed. Not according to scripture. You're not blessed. Right? Listen to what it says when you're blessed and what you have to do to be blessed. Right? If you shall hearken diligently unto the voice of Yah your Elohim, to guard and to do all his commandments, which I command you this day, that Yah will set you above all nations on the earth. Where are you right now? As a people, we are at the bottom. The very bottom. We're the poorest class of people. We are the most hated people. We're the, for about lack of a better term, we're the scum of the earth. We are. We are the scum of the earth right now. There's no people that is lower than us. You know what I'm saying? So you might have a little house or a little car, and they allow you to do all that, you know, in this place. Because if they keep everybody on that low level, that low level, then I wouldn't have to be doing this video to point out to you certain things. You already see it for yourself. But this is how they create the illusion, right? So you'll have a nice little house or a little car and a decent job, and you think everything is going good for you, right? But it's not, you know, it's not true. I mean, as a people, what is going on with us as a people? Where is the love for your brother? How do you look at him when you see yourself in your nice fancy car and stuff like that, and your brother don't even have anything to eat? Don't have a night's dinner tonight. Where are you then? You see what I'm saying to you? So are you blessed and he is cursed? No. This affects all of us. And we have to be saved as a people. Right? All right. So let's continue reading. Right? And all the blessings shall come, all these blessings shall come on you and overtake you. So the blessings is going to overtake you. That means in all aspects of your life you will be blessed. Right? If you shall hearken unto the voice of Yah, your Elohim, blessed shall you be in the city, blessed shall you be in the field, blessed shall be the fruit of your body. What is the fruit of your body? That's your children, right? So many of our children are so troubled right now. You see what I'm saying to you? But you still have a nice car and a nice house. But your children are in such terrible shape, getting into trouble. You know what I'm saying? Fornicating, doing drugs, stealing, lying, doing all kinds of stuff. But you think that you're blessed. What happened to your children? You know what I'm saying to you? And the fruit of your ground. So whatever things you put your hand to, no matter what it is, you will be successful at it. Okay? And the fruit of your cattle, right? And the increase of your kine, and the flocks of your sheep. Blessed shall you be, blessed shall your basket and your store. Blessed shall you be when you come in, and blessed shall you be when you go out. Look at what's going on now, right? Blessed shall you be when you go out. You don't know if you're going to get shot down in the streets or you're going to make it back home. You see what I'm saying to you? And you're going out and you're coming in. Yah shall cause your enemies to rise up against you, to be smitten before your face. You know what I mean? They shall come against you one way and shall flee before you 7 ways. Yah shall command the blessing upon you and your storehouses. You know what I mean? How much money some of us have, even though we think we're blessed? You know what I mean? Blessed shall your storehouses be. That means your bank account should be fat. You know what I mean? But most of us are maybe 2 or 3 paychecks away from being homeless. Even though you have a nice house and a nice car. But 3 or 4 paychecks and you're out in the streets. Okay? So Yah shall command the blessing upon you in your storehouses and in all that you set your hand unto. And he shall bless you in the land which Yah shall give you. Right? And Yah shall establish you a holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto you, if you shall guard the commandments of Yah, your Elohim, and walk in his ways. And all people of the earth shall see you and shall see that you are called by the name of Yah. And they shall be afraid of you. Okay? We're not going to go any further with these blessings, but you can read it for yourself. Deuteronomy 28, 1-14 speaks about the blessings, right? So let's see what, I'm going to read some of the stuff now, what happened when you're cursed, right? The opposite of this, okay? So let's go to verse 15, same chapter, 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if you shall not hearken unto the voice of Yah, your Elohim, to guard and to do all his statutes, which I command you this day, that all these curses shall come up on you and overtake you. Cursed shall you be in the city, cursed shall you be in the field, cursed shall be the basket and your stores. Cursed shall be the fruit of your body. Look at your children, right? Look at the state that your children are in, right? And how much trouble some of them are getting themselves into. Okay? And see if that is something good. If it's something that you you want to continue for generations to come. You see what I'm saying to you? So we need to get back to these obeying the laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? Cursed shall be the fruit of your body and the fruit of your land, the increase of your kind and the flocks of your sheep. Cursed shall you be when you come in. Cursed shall you be when you go out. Right now we're so with these times, like I said, you don't have to be a criminal to be shot down in the streets nowadays. Right? People are getting killed in their houses by cops. You see what I'm saying to you? Not having any weapons or being a threat, but you're a perceived threat. You gotta think about what that means. A perceived, that is in their mind, you're a threat already, whether you have a weapon or not. Right? So Yah shall send upon you the curses, right? The cursing, vexation, and the rebuke in all that you set your hand to do, until you be destroyed, until you perish quickly, because of the wickedness of your doing, whereby you have forsaken me, right? Yah shall make the pestilence cleave unto you until he have consumed you from off the land. Okay? So this is the reason why you're not in Israel right now. You see? So he's gonna cause all these things to come upon you to chase you off. You know what I'm saying to you? So your enemies are gonna come up to come against you, right? This is what happened in 70 AD, right? Research that, right? When the Romans come and destroy Jerusalem, right? And fully destroy Israel at that time. People have to escape for their lives and run away. Okay? I'm not going to read any more of this. Okay? But I'm going to read matter of fact, I'm going to read like the last verse in this. So the curses, look at all the curses, right? The curses start from verse 15 and ends at verse 68. So this is how bad it is when you are cursed. Okay? 68. So listen to this. And Yah shall bring you into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spoke unto you, you shall see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for slave woman and slave men, right? For bondwomen and bondmen. That's what the word actually says. And no man shall buy you, meaning no one shall redeem you. Study the law of redemption, right? Where your kinsman come and pay a ransom for you, right? The only ransom you're gonna get is Yahusha. Yahushua Mashiach. His blood is the only ransom that you're gonna get. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna be wherever you're scattered until then. Until you fully accept. Okay? So this is what it is. Okay? So you shall go into Egypt again. Right? The word is Mizrahim. That's what the Israelites call Egypt, because it's the house of bondage, the house of slavery. So they call it Mizrahim. Read Exodus 20, right? Where Yah is telling them that he's the one who took them out of Mizrahim, out of the house of bondage, out of the house of slavery. Okay? So Mizrahim in this representation is slavery. Right? So he's telling you that you're going to go into slavery again via ships. Right? Where you're going to be sold as slaves. Right? To your enemies. and no one will come and pay the ransom for you until you get back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Then you go back to your land, right? That's what salvation is, right? Okay. So we gotta start thinking, okay? We gotta start thinking with our brain, right? And allow the Holy Spirit to lead us and guide us into all truth, okay? And just don't hold on to religious doctrines and dogmas, right? This book is here for a purpose, the Bible. You need to read it. It comes in the volume of the book. So don't hold the New Testament more valuable than the Old Testament, right? It's not even Old or New Testament, right? Those things is the, if you want to say, is the covenant and the renewed covenant, right? The word for what they put for the New Testament is the Bri Hadashah, and it means renewed covenant, right? So we broke the covenant, right? So now there is a renewed, right? There is some amendments that goes into it, right? And most of the amendments is dealing with animal sacrifice, because Yahusha is that sacrifice. Okay, so every time when you see where it's talking negatively about the law, right, it's talking about Yahusha, right? Because if Yahusha comes to be your atoning sacrifice, right, and you are gonna be still there sacrificing bulls and goats and stuff like that for atonement of sin, then you're making his death pointless, right? That's why Paul says you make the cross of none effect. Okay? So you have to realize these things, right? That is what it says in Daniel, that he is going to cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. That's the only thing it says about the law when Yahusha comes, not to do away with everything. He himself said it, right? I did not come to destroy the law and the prophets, right? He did not come to destroy, but to fulfill, right? And when you go down in the rest of the scriptures, it says, whosoever break even one of these laws and teach men to do so shall be the least in the kingdom of heaven. He says, not until heaven and earth pass away will not even one jot or tittle of the law will pass away. So if you are doing this, teaching people that the law is done away with, and you are a lawbreaker yourself, be careful, right? Read Matthew 7, right? Where it talks about when you shall call on his name and he shall tell you, depart, because I never know you. You worker of iniquity. Iniquity is lawlessness, right? So, all praises to the Most High. If you like this video, if it was any form of educational thing to you, please like, share, and I would like to entertain comments. I would like to hear your feedback on what you think, because, we have to start a discussion, and this is what I am really trying to do, so we can see if we can clarify some things, get you to start thinking, okay? Because we got to wake up. We got to wake up as a people. We're asleep. We're sleepwalking, okay? So you can email me at shalakbasar@gmail.com. shalakbasar@gmail.com. SHALACHBASAR@gmail.com. Please like, subscribe to the channel, and share. And Yah bless you. Until we speak again. Shalom.